guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is super exciting. It is going to be all about everything from our wedding, and since we've been married, I went ahead and asked you guys on Instagram if there was anything you wanted to know, and you guys asked some really great questions. So if you are interested in hearing about all of our opinions on how things went and how they've been going, just keep watching. All right, so we're gonna start off with a really easy one, and I'm gonna ask you first. So what was your favorite part of the day?
I feel like it was probably the first look.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it was what everything kind of built up to, because it was like, whatever, 30 minutes before the ceremony, yeah. So we were able to just kind of...
And it was like 30 degrees outside, and he was standing in a field for like 20 minutes by himself.
Because...
What do you mean? You got there early!
No, you took a little bit of extra time.
No, the photographer was like, tell the guys to come at 1:30. And then there were more shots that they wanted to get, so he was like, tell them to come at 1:45, and Jack was like, I'm here. So he ended up having to just like stand in the cold in a field alone for like 20 minutes.
Worth it.
Oh. Okay, my favorite part of the day, I think, yeah, the first look. I don't know, I felt like I was super anxious all day, and then like after that, it was fun.
Yeah.
And it was also just like obviously super emotional. We both cried like little babies.
Yeah, I couldn't hold it together at
all. If you could go back and change one thing, what would it be? We had kind of a mix-up with our escort cards, and then people ended up sitting at the wrong tables, and that just ended up being like kind of a mess. It worked itself out like 10 minutes later. But besides that, like literally everything was exactly how I wanted it to be. I couldn't believe how well it was exactly what I wanted.
Yeah. I feel like maybe the weather was a little bit too much. The snow was good for pictures, but like... Not
good for body temperature.
And I wanted, like, when everybody was dancing at the end, I wanted people to utilize the fireplace outside.
Yeah.
The fire pits.
So with our venue, one of the things that actually sold us on the venue is they had like fire pits around the outside of the venue with a bunch of like comfy chairs around it. And so it being like November 1st, we thought it would just be like 50, 60, and that would be perfect for people to like be outside and drink. But it wasn't, it was 30, and it ended up being like a snow blizzard. So no one went outside. Fair, but that just kind of was unfortunate for sure.
It really was.
What is one thing you didn't expect, which is kind of similar but different?
To be wearing masks.
To be wearing masks.
Literally. Proposed in February, thinking it was everything was gonna be fine, and yeah.
Yeah.
We got hit with it.
We got bamboozled for sure. Yeah, we got engaged in February, which was like what? How many weeks before all this happened?
I mean, it was a month. I feel like everything came out in March, yeah.
Yeah, and we were so excited and wanted to be like super productive. So we like were touring venues. We only looked at 3 places, right?
Yeah.
And we put a deposit down on our venue, and literally it was like days later that the pandemic started.
Yeah.
So we were like, well, looks like we're having a COVID wedding.
Well, at first we didn't even think it was gonna last until November, and
oh yeah,
we come here and it's getting worse. So.
Yeah, for sure. Actually, that would probably be like the one thing I could change, was just all of having like a COVID wedding. I think that's a question coming up actually. I'll hold off for this thought. We'll just do that one right now so it makes sense. What is your advice to a newly engaged couple planning their wedding during COVID-19? Have 0 expectations.
Yeah, be patient.
Be patient.
Like, realize that you're gonna have a lot of things to do every day, but just knock it out one thing at a time.
Yeah. And go into it knowing something's gonna have to change.
Yeah.
I feel like we kind of were, I don't know, I feel like we actually did pretty well handling all the changes we had to make. Like, we had to do a bunch of stuff with like mask guidelines, and then we had to revise certain things with our venue, and then we ended up dropping our guest count from 160 to 60, which was probably the biggest change.
Stuff to do.
And we did that a month before because, like I said, with our wedding being in November, we kind of hoped that this would be like done. So we kind of planned the wedding like normal. And then a month before, everything was still bad. So we were like, okay, I guess we're changing everything. Yeah. Okay. What were you thinking while walking down the aisle and waiting for her to come down the aisle? Keep in mind, we did a first look, so we had saw each other prior to this. So maybe we should do like what we were thinking when I was walking out to him when he was in the field and what you were thinking while you were in the field.
I don't really know. I was just excited. I knew you were gonna look really good. I just wanted to see you. I was very cold, so I was just like, let's get warm. Let's do this. Yeah. No, that's tough. I feel like there was just so many emotions running through my head.
And you were all alone. No one there beside.
Seriously.
So I like walked over to him with the photographer, and the photographer asked if I wanted tissues, and I was like, no, I'm fine. Like, I don't know, when there's a lot of pressure for me to react emotionally a certain way, I like can't. I don't know, I get super awkward and uncomfortable because I know that people are like wanting a specific response. So I was like, no, like I'll be fine because there's too much pressure on me to react when he sees me or whatever. So we walk out the door and literally like, I just see he's like this big in the distance. But I see him in his suit and he's like not facing me, and I lost it. And I was like, oh shit. And I like started bawling like a little baby. So that I definitely didn't expect, but I don't know. Like you said, it was a flood of emotions.
Yeah, it's hard to describe.
Yeah. But definitely like an amazing feeling, I think. Mm-hmm. Did you write your own vows? So kinda. Like we wrote little letters to each other that we read in our first look, but we wanted that to be like personal and just between the two of us. So it was just us and like the photographer when we read those to each other. But in terms of the actual ceremony, we just read the vows that the officiant read to us.
Yeah, which I mean, we had a lot of options to choose from there as well.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, what's been your favorite part of a marriage so far? We're a whole 2 weeks in. I keep looking at you to answer first. I'm sorry.
I know, it's annoying. You put me on the spot. I don't know. I feel like I've said this, but just like us not planning the wedding anymore, us just being us now, like we get to do whatever we want to do whenever we want to do it.
Yeah. That's a hard one too, because like we've lived together for 2 years now and we've been together for 5. So like for some people who like wait to have sex until marriage or wait to live together to have marriage, I'm sure this question's a little different. But we've basically been married just without the legality of it.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah. I also think just kind of getting back to normalcy. It's such a boring answer.
I know. That's a pandemic wedding.
I know, right? Yeah, I don't know. It also just kind of feels more real. Like,
yeah.
I feel like we're a family now.
You just did your name change?
Yeah. Well, it hasn't gone through yet, but I just ordered the abstracts to change my name. And I feel like that's going to be weird. Like, never being Alexis Eckert anymore.
Yeah.
Alexis Martin. Coming soon. Did you actually enjoy the day or was it stressful? Oops. I actually really enjoyed the day. I was not stressed at all. In the morning I was very anxious just because it was, like I said, a lot of pressure. I just like wanted to see him and start having fun. But I don't know, I'm super surprised because I just was super laid back all day. Like I think I was just in the mindset like you only get married once. I don't want to get mad over anything small. So I'm just gonna like enjoy this no matter what happens.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I was the same way.
Yeah.
Just like a little bit anxious in the morning. Mostly just hydrating. I feel like most people want to drink in the morning of when they like get rid of the anxiety, but I just was not feeling that either. I just
wanted to
I was ready to go once we left the hotel, but
yeah. Can you show a close-up of your rings? So, okay. So this is what my band looks like. I can take it off too. I actually have a video where I show our rings and where we purchased them. Was it worth the money?
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah. I mean, we obviously made choices that was going to make it less money than we could have, but...
Yeah, cutting the guest list by 100 people saved just a little bit of money.
Yeah.
Also, like, we were really fortunate to have our parents help us. So I think if the financial obligation was 100% ours, I'd probably say no.
Yeah. Well, yeah, the courthouse would have been great.
The courthouse would have been great, you know? Invite like 4 people.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's hard. That's such a hard question because it's like, we're both very frugal when it comes to money, and like, a wedding is a very elaborate, expensive event, and it turned out beautiful. Like, it was worth every penny, but in a sense, like, there were checks that were very hard for us.
At the end, it just feels like you're throwing money.
It literally just feels like you're just chucking money. And when you're writing the checks and when you're spending the money, you aren't seeing the results. Like, you only see the results that one day.
Yeah.
So it's really difficult in the moment to like spend the money. But then when you get there, I also want to say our venue came with a coordinator, and she did everything. She set all our desserts out. She decorated everything. They had a floral team that helped with all the flowers. Like, we didn't have to do any of that. And I know that there are a lot of brides who do have to like go and decorate. Yeah. So if you're in Ohio and you want to get married, Jorgensen Farms and Ashley Van Dyke was our coordinator. We had such a great experience with them. Amazing. We didn't have to do hardly anything.
Yeah, they can do it all in-house.
Yeah. So yeah, I think getting there and seeing what all our money went to was very cool. Like, it was very surreal, don't you think?
Definitely. Yeah, we didn't talk about it earlier, but just being able to see the room without anybody in it.
Yeah, I had asked her if we could see the room, like, before we did our pictures, before everyone got there. So again, we could see what all we spent money on, and it was super cool.
Yeah.
Like, I recommend doing that. That might be my little like bride tip, is ask if you can see what it looks like before people get into it. It was just like breathtaking that was my wedding. Like, I felt like I was at someone else's wedding. Okay, have you guys talked about or thought about kids?
I mean, yeah, we talked about it before. Obviously.
Yeah, we talked about kids before we got married.
Seems pretty weird to.
If one of us was just like, yeah, we're not gonna have kids, and the other one's like, what?
Not the best choice.
Do you want to take this one?
Agreed to wait until we're closer to like 30. I mean, play it by ear.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, just like full transparency, I'm on an IUD, so I am like not having kids. There's, well, knock on wood, there's no way.
Knock on metal.
Metal, yeah. Until I'm 28. So we kind of decided I'm not going to do another IUD at 28 when I get this one taken out. We're just going to kind of live life, and like what happens from there happens. Also, disclaimer, I'm 24 right now, so that's like quite a while away. We just want to travel and enjoy our dogs and like really have years of marriage that is just our marriage before we have kids, you know? That way when we're like 70 or however old we are when they move out. Why did I say 70?
70. Oh, we're gonna have some bad kids.
That way when we're like, what, 50? And our kids move out, we still like each other. Yeah. Okay, there's a couple more. How did you get to be the... So she said, how did you get to be the most gorgeous bride ever? What's your secret? Which is kind of a joke, I'm assuming. But all of my bridal accessories and things like that, I made a video about, and I will link that right here so you guys can watch that. And then I did hire a makeup professional, which I can leave her information down below, and then our hairdresser as well, I can leave her information below. Did you have to socially distance during the reception? Beautiful wedding, by the way. Thank you, that's so sweet. Did we have to? We were supposed to. I probably shouldn't say this on the internet, but whatever. Like, you only have one life. I understand this is serious, but we did what we could to get rid of the guest count, and it was really important for us to still like enjoy our day. So, yes.
I mean, the people that really needed to be distanced were at the reception, so it was still fine.
Yeah, and like through the night, obviously, as you're drinking and having fun, you get more like close to each other and stuff like that, but especially for like the ceremony, the seats, they weren't 6 feet apart, but they definitely were like spread out. And then groups, one thing I did notice, like when we were coming back up the aisle from the ceremony, groups sat with each other and away from each other. So one thing our coordinator did was put out like 30 more chairs than we needed. That way people could sit like with their families, but be like apart from other people. Right. Which looked kind of weird. It looked a little empty. But again, COVID wedding.
Yeah, I honestly didn't even notice.
Oh, really?
I didn't look out into the crowd once. I
just saw me.
Well, I just couldn't focus on it. I was like so beelined at the door.
At the door? You get the fuck out.
That makes it sound a lot worse, but you came out of the door, so.
Yeah. So the next question we got was, will there be any wedding videos or something like that on your YouTube vlogs? Yes, there will. We did hire a professional videographer, so as soon as I get that video back, I will be posting it on my YouTube channel. However, that does take 2 or 3 months, I believe. So it will not be soon, but definitely subscribe so you will be up to date with my videos and see as soon as that's posted. What are some unexpected things about planning a wedding that you wish you had known? P.S. You looked absolutely stunning. Where was the dress from? Thank you so much. The dress was from Lux Redux Bridal, which is a bridal boutique here in Columbus, and they have 3 in all over Ohio, in Cincinnati, Columbus, and Cleveland. Some unexpected things about planning a wedding that we wish we had known.
For me, I feel like the day just came up so fast, so like just logistically of where we were gonna be from the rehearsal dinner to the day of, where the dogs were gonna be, where family members were gonna be, just like traveling, getting everybody to where they needed to go.
Yeah, we did a really bad job, truthfully, of like planning that ahead of time. We waited until like the week of, and we were like, how are we gonna get everything and everyone everywhere?
Yeah, seriously.
And then I would say everyone's gonna have an opinion on how they think your wedding should go. So just do your best to take what people say with a grain of salt, unless you like really want to do those things, because at the end of the day, the wedding is between you and your fiance, and that's what is gonna be the most important when it's all said and done, is that you guys got what you both wanted. What are some tips to someone wanting to plan a wedding on a budget?
I mean, the venue is the biggest like thing that you need to consider, because we chose our venue because they were able to give a really good price on Sundays, and they had like everything in-house. So I feel like that was amazing that they were able to get greenery from the farm. Like, we didn't have to really pay as much for flowers as most people do.
Yeah, we had our wedding on a Sunday, which
catering too.
Yeah. So if you are comfortable with doing a wedding not on a Friday or a Saturday, you'll save a lot of money. We saved like $10,000 just holding the venue alone by doing it on a Sunday instead of a Saturday. Kind of try and figure out where there's wiggle room financially, and I also feel like pick the things that are the most important to you. We went into it, we had a conversation super early on, like about what was really important to us, and ours were the food and the photos.
Yeah.
So those are the things that we did first and like prioritized first, and we were really happy with both, honestly. We haven't gotten all of our professional photos back yet. We've gotten like 20 or 30, but those are incredible, and I can't wait to see the rest of them as well. So do you have any, what were you gonna say?
The other thing is like DIY as much as you can. Like you found a bunch of stuff on Pinterest that you were able to do, and buying it from Hobby Lobby or something is a lot better than a professional doing it.
Yes, yes. I'm trying to think of all the things I DIY'd. I don't even know. Anything I found that I could do myself, I did myself. So even like when it came to all of our signage, I would look up signs on Pinterest, and then whatever I found that I liked, I would either do like a copycat version on Word or Photoshop with similar fonts. And so I printed those all out myself for free, which was pretty nice. And then I found a couple on Etsy, which is also in that same video that I linked prior. So just kind of trying to find things that you can cut corners on. Like our wedding sign was really, like our welcome sign was really, really big. And if I would have like bought a frame, I thrifted our frame, but if I would have bought a frame and had the actual sign professionally made, that would have been at least $100. And we only spent like 20 total on the sign and the frame. So just little things like that, like you're able to cut corners. Oh, another thing, so we didn't do wedding programs. In our welcome sign, we kind of did like a double of a welcome sign and a program. I'll insert a picture right here so you can see what it looks like so you don't think I'm crazy. And that saved us $100, right? Mm-hmm. So just, you know, think about what's going to be important to you and what's not super important to you, and then make decisions that are best for you and your partner, I would say. Any last takeaways from the overall experience that you think we should touch on for him? Anyone planning a wedding, or just how we thought it went? Our dog is snoring on our lap right now.
Yeah. It's hard. I wouldn't change a thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cute.
It was a good day.
It was a good day. That was weird. He came back from the dead. His head just popped up. All right, that is all that we have for this video. Thank you guys so much for asking all those questions on Instagram. I really appreciate it. They were great questions, and we had a super fun time making this video. Mm-hmm. Leave a comment down below if you want to see his face more often. Don't forget to thumbs up this video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you have not already. I have been making 2 videos a week. Hopefully that will continue, and I will catch you guys in my next one. Bye.